Ouch. Where's your camera?
What's up, guys? Curtsy28 and the crew here. And we got some really bad news today. And that is that Microsoft is going to be walking away from hardware, gaming console hardware, to do their own thing and be third party game studio developer. And they're essentially just going to go full on with Game Pass, and they're going to put Game Pass on PlayStation and Nintendo and PC. And there will be no more Xbox. And unfortunately, I kind of saw this coming because they've been just going so heavily into Game Pass. They've been porting all their exclusives over the PC. They're trying to just do this Xbox Play Anywhere program, and it's been a complete disaster. Xbox, I'm done. I'm switching to PlayStation. I'm done. I'm giving up on Race for the Record. Well, I'm not giving up on it. It's transitioning over to trophies. And I'm done. Starting today, I'm done with Xbox. I'm a PlayStation guy now. And Psycho Dad's going to tell you his take on this, and also his story, his Xbox journey, if you will. And I think the most significant part of his story was when he got into a fatal car accident and was raced to the emergency room with only days and hours to live.
All right. Well, I'm going to go through the entire journey from where it began to where it ends. So, as we all know, I've been an Xbox fanboy ever since the original Xbox was unveiled. And, yeah, I met Bill Gates. That was pretty cool. I need to find the Polaroid of myself and Bill Gates and my son. I mean, me and him were pretty much like blackout drunk, but I got a Polaroid with him. It's still, it brings memories to my heart. And, I've been to every single midnight launch for a console that there ever was. The original Xbox was great. The Xbox 360's midnight launch, it was amazing. They blew it out of the water. The 360's midnight launch was the best thing I've probably ever been to in my life. And then you got the Xbox One. Man, what a disappointment. And then the Series X, it was like, it was the last saving grace of hopefully that they could turn this console generation around. But as we all know, they just launched the Series X, and they've tried, but they've failed miserably. But yes, my son did mention my ER visit after my almost fatal car accident, which had me in a coma for a couple days. And everyone was just scrambling and wondering what to do. And my son brought in my Xbox 360, and within the next 10, 15 minutes, I awoke out of my coma. They said I was going to be in that coma for a couple years, or if not, the rest of my life. But the Xbox 360, it works wonders, and it saved my life. But that's my personal story with the Xbox 360. But, Xbox has been going down a trail of just failure after failure ever since Phil Spencer and Don Mattrick have had their hands on this company. Don Mattrick was the biggest buffoon idiot I've ever seen. He's tried to market the Xbox One as not a gaming console, but your universal, basically your Amazon Fire Stick, which is the equivalent of what they tried to make the Xbox One. People are buying a gaming console to play games on it. They're not buying it to watch Hulu. They're not buying it to watch Netflix. Why would you spend $600? Because at that time they had the Kinect bundle with it, which was the Kinect was already going out a couple years before the Xbox One came out, and then they doubled down and kept with it when they knew it was going out of style. And the thing is, no one cared about the Kinect because if you wanted some motion game console, you bought the Wii. Like, oh my God, I want to, move around physically and flap my hands around like a bird. I'll go get a Wii and do that. Why would I buy a Kinect? But Phil Spencer, you might have brought the Xbox One out of the dark days because it was failing so miserably, but the only thing under your belt that is arguably an accomplishment is backwards compatibility. And even still, you're messing that program up now. And it's arguably the only good thing you've ever done because now you're coming out here saying, oh, Xbox is finished. I don't care about this anymore. We're done. We're throwing in the towel. And then, Phil Spencer, you also stated that exclusives won't sell consoles, which is completely incorrect. If you look at Sony, that's the main reason people buy a PlayStation is to play the exclusives. You know, maybe if you would eat your own words and admit you were wrong with that statement and you made good exclusives, maybe your console wouldn't have tanked so hard. But, you know, I'm not in your shoes, but if I was, man, I would have turned that company around and I would be being praised as a god. Excuse me. And also another area where you messed up is PC getting exclusives. Why would you port your games that are specific to your console to PC? People who buy a PC aren't going to be playing Xbox games. They're going to be playing everything else under the sun. So just the gesture alone that you decided to do that is just borderline stupid because no one's going to be playing Xbox exclusives on PC except maybe Halo. That's the only one they would ever bother playing. And speaking of Halo, this is another major point around why the Xbox brand has been failing for so long, and it's because they let game flagship IPs, Halo, fell off so hard with the launch of MCC. That was one of the biggest failures of a video game launch in history. The game did not work on launch. It took them years to fix it, and the game still isn't fixed. The achievements are still bugs, and it's still a joke to play. And also, they let Gears of War die. You look at Gears of War Judgment, that was when it started. The game died right there. They tried to revive it with 4. They almost did it, but then they started putting so many microtransactions in the game, it dragged the game down, and then you have Gears 5. Gears 5 is a complete joke. It is the polar opposite of what makes Gears of War Gears of War. Gears of War is known for dark, gloomy tones, and Gears of War 5 is just so all flashy colors, the Fortnite-esque Gears of War. That game, I don't even acknowledge its existence. And also, achievements are still broken on the Xbox 11 years later. Why don't achievements work? You had a perfect system with the 360. You met the criteria, it unlocked. And now on the Xbox One and the Series X, you get an achievement, you wait like 10, 15 seconds, and maybe it'll pop, maybe it won't. But it makes everything a lot harder for myself and my son, which are both achievement hunters. And, like, why? How have you not fixed the system? It's been around for so long, and you still haven't fixed it. It's ridiculous. And arguably another reason that the Xbox brand started going downhill was because in 2014 they lost their exclusivity with COD, you know, getting DLC first. And during that time, Call of Duty was still a powerhouse. You know, it was, even though the game's quality started going down, it was still selling millions upon millions of copies. And, you know, if they would have maybe kept the exclusivity deal, the Xbox One's initial flop might have turned it around slightly and it wouldn't have been failing so hard. But because that ended, you know, it really didn't help the take of it. But another thing that Microsoft is failing on is their new voice moderation. Okay. Now, I have personal experience with this. I called someone the B word. That guy reported me, and I got banned. Are you kidding me? I can't call someone the B word over a video game, and I get banned for it. If anything, that's an infringement on freedom of speech. I should be able to call you whatever I want. Not to mention, this is over a video game. It's not real life. And if it was real life, I would still call it to your face. And if you don't like it, well, guess what? In real life, you can either, 1, talk back to me, or 2, you can walk away and accept the fact that I called you that. But, you know, in the video game escape, I guess cyberbullying is such a big deal because people don't understand the concept of, oh, this guy called me the B word. Well, guess what? You can turn it off, and all of a sudden, magically, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like, this is such a crazy concept. I don't understand it. But, you know, that's the whole problem with the world. It's weak. And it has a bunch of betas and weaklings and losers. But another personal story. I'm not done yet. You'll have your turn. But I have another story from the 360, you know. Gears of War 2 came out. I was grinding that game for 24 hours straight. I was going on my 48 hours. And I got the red ring of death. I was so mad. I grabbed my sledgehammer and I destroyed my 360. I was that angry over it. I completely just lost it and I smashed the living I even forgot what I'm trying to say here, but I destroyed it because I was just so angry. But that leaves me. This is where I'm gonna make the most controversial choice in my life. Psycho Dad is dropping Xbox and going to PlayStation. After being the biggest Xbox fan for the last 23, 24 years, Microsoft's just been keep constantly backing me in a corner. I don't have a choice. So I'm making a switch to PlayStation. I'm dropping Xbox. It was fun while it lasted, but when Microsoft started to stop prioritizing the gamers, that's when it was really, that was it. Like, all they care about is Game Pass now. I mean, if you made some quality games, you wouldn't have to focus on Game Pass. Or maybe if you stopped doing DEI hires, maybe you would have a good game, but it's another topic for another time. Well, son.
Well, Caden, did you have your thoughts on this too?
Yeah, and here's something I gotta say. I wasn't here at the beginning of the 360, but I loved it so much that I got an Xbox One, which I still have today. But however, I was disappointed in that I don't own a Series X or S, which I probably never will because I'm freaking poor, and that I live off welfare. Ha, only kidding. I don't do that. So, but that doesn't mean I will purchase, because I will not purchase any more Xboxes, and Phil Spencer is just a loser in my opinion. He's ruined Xbox for all of us. One day in school, this may not be on topic, but one day in school my teacher told me I had shit breath. So I walked home covered in mud and crying while playing Survival Town on Black Ops 2 on the 360.
And it changed your day, didn't it?
Yeah, dude. I have to admit what I said was kind of
Yeah, guys. So, so to circle this all back, because this is kind of going off the rails here. So, if you guys have been living under a rock all day today, the gaming world has been exploding. This is unlike anything I've ever seen before. This is like the day when Microsoft revealed the Series X. That's how big of a day this has been. So the rumors started with Starfield. It was going to be put on PlayStation, and then it spiraled, and then people started talking about Gears going on PlayStation, then Halo, and then the tweeting and the rumors and everything got to be so much that Phil Spencer had to come out and make a statement and say, "Listen, we hear you, and we're gonna talk next week. We're gonna have a meeting, and then we will update you guys on the future of Xbox." So his statement said a lot. He didn't deny any of the claims, and if you guys know half of our channel is gaming, half it's politics. So if you guys are at all involved in politics, you know when a politician doesn't deny something, it's true. So I think that's what we have here is Phil Spencer doesn't want to come out and say this isn't true. If it wasn't true, he would just say it's not true. So the fact that he didn't really say anything about it makes me think it's going to happen. And I guess who could be surprised considering Microsoft has never made money off of Xbox. It's just been a money pit since the day they opened in 2001 with the Xbox division. And not to mention, they have never won a console generation. They came in second in the 6th gen behind the PS2. They came in third in the 7th gen behind the Wii and the PS3. They came in last behind... they came in second in the 8th gen behind the PS4. They beat out the Wii U. And then, last but not least, the Series X, which is, in my opinion is like the best Xbox console ever made. Unfortunately, it's in last place right now. It's getting its butt kicked by the Switch and the PS5. So I think Microsoft is just going to power down, turn off the system, and move on to the next project. And it's really sad because if you guys are Xbox gamers, you know Xbox for the last 20 so years was the console for the hardcore gamer. Obviously, Nintendo was the console for the kids. PlayStation was more for the casual gamer, you know, the guy who just likes to play Madden here and there, or maybe will play the yearly Call of Duty. But the real hardcore gamers were on Xbox. And yeah, we're a smaller group. That's why Xbox never won a generation. But without a doubt, we're the most passionate. And so that's where the most passion in gaming has been for the last 20 years, was on the Xbox. So I guess we're going to have to migrate over to the PlayStation. I have mixed feelings about that. I do like PlayStation. I've had consoles over the years, and but it just doesn't feel the same as the Xbox. And I'm going to have to transition the Race for the Record series over to trophies. Maybe that'll actually be better for the channel because maybe I could actually break the record because that loser redemption denied has no life and gets like 100,000 a freaking month. But
Probably.
excuse me. I'll pass this back over to Psycho Dad.
Yeah, it was like I was saying, like Xbox has been really important in history because the original Xbox was the basis for online multiplayer. So like Xbox is a really important like deal. I mean, as you said, they never made money, but the original Xbox basically guaranteed the success of multiplayer gaming. And without it, multiplayer gaming more than likely would have taken off by this point, but it would have taken a lot longer. And then the 360, it was arguably the king of online play. I can remember countless days of playing Call of Duty back in the day, back when it was amazing. Gears of War 3, Halo 3, those were the days. You had to be there to experience it. And, the fact that there's the sunsetting the Xbox, it's really disheartening to me because, like I said, I'm an Xbox fanboy. I have 125,000 gamer score. I've had 2 accounts. The first one got banned. That one I had 10 years on. So my second account that I have now is the one I play on, and that I'm sitting at 11 years with it. But it's just disappointing to see that, they're just sunsetting it. But I'm not a businessman, and if I ran Microsoft or even the Xbox division, I would turn a profit. But they won't give that to me. I'm just some dumb 41-year-old man that doesn't know anything.
Yeah, guys, it truly is sad because I just remember the days, back in like 08, 09 when me and Psycho Dad were trying to grind the Call of Duty World at War campaign on Veteran, and our entire house almost came burning down to the ground in flames out of anger. You're just never going to get memories like that again, and you're never going to get the satisfaction of beating a game on the hardest difficulty again like World at War because Call of Duty campaigns are so mid now, and they're not even hard or challenging or fun. And they're just dumb. Call of Duty's a joke. The 2 biggest icons of the late 2000s, Xbox Live, Xbox 360, and Call of Duty, they're all coming down together. They're all going down in flames together. And, Microsoft could have really turned things around with all of these game studios that they bought. They could have taken the Xbox from last to first overnight. They could have made so many games exclusive, and people would have raced out and would be knocking people down at the stores to get Xboxes if the only place they could play Call of Duty or Starfield or the next Fallout game or whatever was going to be exclusive, they could have done that with the exclusives, and they could have expanded on Game Pass, and they would have just dominated the console war. But they decided, nope, we're done with this, and we're just going to put Xbox on everything because screw our brand, screw the loyal Xbox gamers, we're done.
Screw Microsoft most of all.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Phil.
So does anybody have anything else?
Yeah, screw you, Phil Spencer. I had fun playing Xbox from 2012 all the way to 2024. So, goodbye, Phil Spencer. You may have just lost not only 1, but 3 customers. And I might give this to somebody, my Xbox One S.
Why don't you just smash it?
Well, Dad, do you have anything else?
Should I?
Yeah, actually, I do. You know what, Phil Spencer? You might have brought the Xbox One out of the gutters, but you killed the brands. You haven't done anything for the past 5 years except drag Xbox further and further down the trail. This push to all digital and the fact that you won't be able to buy a game physically, you have killed this brand. It's all your fault, and your cancer is spread across the industry, and you need to be stopped.
Even better, thrown in prison where he can't get access to Xbox.
There won't be any access to Xbox for anybody because it's gone.
There won't be. It's going to be disbanded.
All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of this travesty. And we will be covering the Microsoft press conference next week where we are expected to have an official announcement. So we'll see you guys. Is Microsoft really done with Xbox, or is this something else entirely? We're going to find out together, and then as soon as the report comes out, we are going to be there to break it down and analyze it for you guys. So thanks for watching this video, and we will see you guys all later.
Peace.